experience with this kind of situation. He was coming back from a trip abroad and lives in Tupelo, and an attorney up there, we won't mention his name, but he got pulled over right outside Lauderdale at the Sefco store up there. This has been several years ago. And got pulled over right there, pulled into the parking lot by a Kemper County deputy.
Yep.
Yes, sir. And ended up getting arrested and taken.
This is in Lauderdale County?
Well, yeah. And that's the crux of this story. So he gets arrested and gets taken to Kemper County Jail, spends the night, and gets out the next morning, and he says, you know what, I'm fighting this. So he comes back.
This guy's a lawyer.
He's a lawyer, yeah. Pretty savvy lawyer, too. Likes to drink a lot, too. Anyhow, he's an older guy. Anyhow, he decides, I'm fighting this thing. So court date rolls around, he's going to defend himself, and he comes down there, and he gets the officer on the stand, and he says, goes through all the preliminary questions. He said, well, where'd you pull me over? And he said, oh, right there, the Sefco on Highway 45 North. He said, right. And he said, well, what county is that in? Lauderdale. He said, who do you work for? He said, Kemper County Sheriff's Department. He said, well, what were you doing in Lauderdale County? He said, I was just off my shift and headed home. I live in Lauderdale County, and noticed that, you were driving erratically, so I pulled you over and got you off the road. And he said, I looked at the judge and I said, I made him repeat the story. He pulled me over in Lauderdale County, but you're a Kemper County deputy. And he said, well, basically, Judge, what we got here is a case of kidnapping. And he said the judge looked at him for a minute, looked at the deputy, he slammed his gavel down, and he said, Mr. So-and-so, I believe you're right. Sorry for your trouble. Case dismissed. So they met a couple weeks later. He gets a check in the mail for $2,500. Says, sorry for your trouble.
You're kidding.
He never cashed it. He's got it framed in his kitchen on his wall.
From Kemper County?
Chancery Court or Circuit Court or whatever. Yeah.
That's the best stories I've ever heard.
But to hear this guy, I could tell it a lot better, but it
We need some
be appropriate. But he said, basically, Judge, I think we've got us a case of kidnapping.